Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Schematic and Pragmatic. We're going to talk about the presupposition. So what is proposition that our discussion today? Okay, the proposition are implications that are often felt to be in the background, to be assumed by the speaker to be already known to the addressee. So this is the presupposition, and the other definition is the proposition in the branch of linguistic known as a pragmatics. As a preposition is an explicit assumption about the word or background belief relating to the arts and words truth is taken for granted in discourse. So this is the example of proposition. Have you stopped eating meat? The proposition is you had one eating meat. Yes. And then the second, have you talked to Hans? The proposition is Han exists, of course, because you have talked to Han, of course, Han exists. And the other example here, A, the king of France is bald. B, the king of France is not bald. C, is the king of France bald? D, if the king of France is bald, he should wear a hat in the winter. So what is the proposition of this example? The proposition is there is a king of France. Okay, there is a king of France. Why there is a king of France? Because you have talked about the France is bald. So the assumption is there is a king of France. Of course, there is a king of France. So for example, so in simple definition of presupposition in bahasa is peranggapan, asumsi. Okay, presupposition is peranggapan or asumsi. So assumption or the proposition based on this example is you have known before, you have prior knowledge about the composition about the sentence. Okay, the type of the proposition, the existential proposition, active proposition, lexical proposition, structural proposition, and a non-active proposition and contractual proposition. So let me see one by one. So what is existential proposition? Okay, the existential presupposition is a speaker is committed to the existence of the entity's name. For example, the king of France, the cat, the girl next door, your car. Okay, this is the existential proposition. Then, affective presupposition is a certain verb construction indicate that something is a fact. Okay, something is a fact. This is the stressing. Something is a fact. Example, we regret telling him. Okay, you may see the regret telling him. We told him. Okay, the proposition is we told him. We regret telling him, so the proposition is we told him. She didn't realize he was ill. The proposition is he was ill. I'm glad it's over. So I'm glad it's over. Okay, the proposition is it is over. It is over. Okay, this is the proposition. So this is the effective proposition that the construction indicate that something is fact. For example, in bahasa, kamu sudah datang. For example, kamu sudah datang. What does that mean? Dia ada di sana. Kamu sudah datang, berarti dia sudah ada di sana. Or dia datang. Okay. Next is lexical transposition. The lexical proportion is the assumption that in using one word, the speaker can act as if another meaning word will be understood. Okay. Lexical proportion is the assumption that in using one word, the speaker can act as another meaning words will be understood. For example, she pretended that he had understood what she had just stopped running. And for example, he used to run. Okay, this the proposition is used to run. You are late again. The proposition is the lexical proportion. You will let before. Again, before. Okay, I mean again and again. It means that you have done similarly before. Okay, you are late before. The proportion is you are late. I mean you are late again. The proportion is you are late before. Okay, this is the lexical proposition. And then this is the structural proposition. The structural proposition is the assumption to start with the use of certain words and phrases. Okay. Once again, structural proposition is the assumption associated with the use of certain words and phrases. Okay. For example, double-X question in English are conventionally interpreted with the presupposition that the information after the double-X form. Example, when and where is already known to be the case. Example here, she pretended that he had understood what she went, what, for example, when did she travel to USA? The proposition is she traveled, where did you, she traveled, okay? For example, where did you buy the book? Okay, you can see, all right, here is the, when did she travel to USA, mean that she traveled, okay? And then, where did you buy the book? It means that you bought the book. Okay. And non-factive preposition. Okay, what is non-factive preposition is one that is assumed not to be true. Okay, the keyword is it is assumed not to be true. Okay. For example, she pretended that he had understood what she means. He didn't understand what she meant. Okay, I imagine that Kelly was ill. The proposition, the non-factive proposition is Kelly was not ill. Why? Because I imagined that Kelly was ill. Okay, non-factive proposition is Kelly was not ill because you just imagined that Kelly was ill. Okay, this is the factive presupposition. And then the last is a counterfactual proposition. Okay, what is the counterfactual proposition? That what is proposed is not only not true, but it is opposite of what is true or contrary to the fact. Counterfactual condition, for example, we use a clause, a complete statement example. If I had enough money, I will buy the horse. If I have enough money, I will buy that house. Okay. What does that mean? The counterfactual person is, I don't have enough money. If he had not made such terrible mistake, he would be okay. The counterfactual person is, I don't have enough money. For example, next, if he didn't make such terrible mistake, he would be very happy now. Of course, the counterfactual person is he did made a terrible mistake. So she didn't happy now. Okay, this is the counterfactual proposition. So what is the presupposition or peranggapan in bahasa? Is you have a background knowledge and then you have assumption about the language, about the composition, about the idea. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. And then see you around. And I hope you can learn at your home and study hard.